talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They talk about basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. I'm out here in fucking Chicago at a nice little hotel. I feel like shit because I stayed up all night, had a couple brewskis, had a little Xanax to calm me down.
Poor you, Stavros. This is what my mom is doing right now. My mom is like, I'm having computer problems. I'm like, Mom, I have COVID. Can you back off?
I'm trying to. That was part of the intro, you fucking piece of shit. I was going to say, but it's nothing compared to the adversity that my co-host is facing right now. Fucking podcasting through coronavirus. And you got a bad one, Sammy. I got lucky. My COVID was like, pretty mild. Your ass was fucked up. We've been talking the last couple of weeks. You're out of it, bro.
I'm annoyed. If you need energy, though, nothing energizes you like a Knicks loss. They were right in it. Yeah. KD just put on a classic. That was tough.
Insane. What do you have, 52?
Might have been 53. It was. Yeah, it was. I mean.
Yeah, no. So we're recording this immediately. It's Sunday. I guess 4 o'clock Eastern. I don't know what
53 on 19 of 37 shooting. He also had 9 assists.
Yeah, he had 53, and the Nets scored a total of 110. He had he had almost half of their fucking.
I was looking at that supporting cast out there. I guess Seth Curry wasn't playing, and no Kyrie. Obviously, Kyrie fucking rolls up. The game is cutting away to Kyrie applauding the way Eva Longoria used to do it for Tony Parker. Yeah, and it really just made me furious.
We have really started getting into the fucking dumbass zone here where it's like Kyrie can go to the game, but he can't play. It's like, I think the guy should get vaxxed. I think everyone should get vaccinated, but what the fuck is even the point?
What are we doing? If it's about the fans, it's like, who's going to really bounce back more quickly? These NBA athletes or whatever person sitting courtside,
And the thing is, he probably had, the thing I never understood is why didn't we just, for unvaccinated players, just make them do what every player used to do before we had a vaccine, which is you have to take a test every fucking day. If he's getting tested every day and he doesn't have it, let him play. Who gives a fuck? But whatever. That's neither here nor there. What's more important is that the Knicks were up or tied it. Did they tie it? Oh, fuck. It's just unable to secure a connection on Zoom. God damn it. Okay, we're back. I fucked up. Sam, the reason we're keeping.
Hold on, wait. Say it again.
Okay. I fucked up this time. For those of you listening to predominantly audio, you didn't see Sam put his sunglasses on in a gloating fashion. We're keeping those 2 minutes, even though a professional podcast would have started over. But suck our dicks. I also wanted Sammy to feel the power of being the one whose technology worked. Mine fucked up for a change, so we're keeping it in there. The score is now 1,000-1 in terms of who fucked up, who couldn't figure out technology.
Well, I look forward to the first round pick I get.
You are, yeah. If only the Knicks employed your strategy.
Hey man, I love what they're doing because they're losing, but they're showing a lot of grit while they lose.
They're losing tough. Best case scenario.
KD is unreal. I've always seen the you're too small like this, where you're pushing the hand down. I've never seen that you have a tiny dick.
He gave 48. That was as much as I don't want to fuck with the Nets. It was because he picked the one player we disrespect the most. He gave him, after he scored over him, he gave him the you're too small, and he held his thumb and his fucking forefinger close to show that he has a little ass dick.
And then even Fournier smiled. Even Fournier got a smile out of that one. And then, of course, on the decisive play, what happens? Fournier tries to dish it into Mitchell Robinson, and he is too small. He couldn't get the pass in. So KD called it. I mean, Fournier had a good game. And he shows flashes that he's such a good shooter that I'm like, man, if we just had a big point guard next to him, maybe we could shield what a terrible defender he is.
Yeah, big point guards that can shoot and defend is like that's one of the most valuable positions in the fucking NBA.
Yeah.
Those guys don't go. You're like, if only we had Magic Johnson next to him, then things would be a lot easier.
Have you seen the show Winning Time?
I haven't yet. I've been away, and I think somebody fucked up my HBO. I might have gotten my HBO Max hacked because I tried to go into it, and instead of it saying Stavros, it said Joey. And I was like, "Who the fuck is Joey?"
Dude. That motherfucker got you.
Some asshole. I probably left my shit plugged, like, logged in like an Airbnb in fucking, Houston, and some asshole named Joey has fucking stolen my information. So next episode, we're gonna do a full Winning Time because I can't wait to watch it. So I'm really
it's
excited.
fun.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys up with that once I figure out my identity theft. Hopefully, this guy's gotten into all my bank accounts, and I'm just completely fucking broke now. But anyway, yeah, tough loss for the Knicks. I mean, look, this was the kind. You're right. This is the loss we need, but they were rallying for you when you were sick because they did lift me. I was just picturing what Stav's passwords are. I bet it's like Giannis 34. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, suck my nuts,
dude. Yeah, they were rallying. They won 3 out of 4, and they fought. They really did. I mean, some of those games though, like. Well, we're not going to beat fucking Sacramento.
Yeah. Well, that's the one you were fucking jazzed up at. Don't change your tune now, motherfucker.
I was happy. King Julius brought back some of the kingdom.
Yeah.
At night,
that was
dropping
like,
a hot 46.
That was That's when it's like you've been divorced. It's like it's like you're married. It's been loveless, and then just the sangria hits just right, and it's like you're fucking like you're in high school again. It's like that's what that night was. We went right back to just our normal mundane lives, dropping the kids off, fucking getting the minivan serviced. But for that night, Julius was king again.
For one night,
getting railed by him, and it felt tremendous.
Yeah, the next morning he didn't shoot quite as well, but yeah. Let's see what his stats were after that. I mean, we won some big ones. That loss to Phoenix, although I say it's probably best for us to lose right now.
It's just to lose.
It hurt.
It's absolutely best. I know that's the thing. It hurts in the moment, but we have to switch completely to tank mode. We have to. In fact, those last couple wins, I think were an issue. I hated seeing
They were. I mean, you knew Julius was going to bring it in Dallas. He had a big second half against. That's his hometown cooking baby. You know he's going to bring it in.
But that's another one that's like it would have been so much more enjoyable if we weren't in the reversed playoff race. If we weren't on the lottery race, because now we've fallen to 10.
But we're not. No. I believe we're 11.
No, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at Tankathon right now. And,
10 in the draft. Okay, I thought you meant in the standings.
And no. The real standings mean nothing to us anymore, Sam. The only standings.
No, we're 12 actually in the standings.
Yeah, interesting. So that makes sense because then we're 10th for the picks. But we gotta sneak in there. We need New Orleans to keep winning, baby.
I think they could.
I think they could too. Portland too, weirdly, is ahead of us. I mean, I don't think they are gonna put it together and go on a run. I got a sneaking suspicion Dame he's gonna be feeling pretty. That ab isn't gonna fucking heal anytime soon. I feel like Dame is gonna take a nice long rest for the rest of this season. And then San Antonio, Sacramento. Even that Sacramento, that win, that was ultimately a loss because if we had lost to Sacramento, we gain a game on them in the reverse standings.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, you never know with the lottery balls, but
yeah, and Indiana, I mean Sacramento. I wonder what they're even their fuck because clearly this was a go all in type situation for the fucking 10th seed, and it's obviously not worked. So hopefully,
I don't know what Sacramento is thinking. I feel for those fans. They really.
I guess if you're Sacramento, at this point, all you can say is kind of like, well, we got our nucleus. If we continue to tank for this season, if we do just a little tank, get us a quality player to add to these two guys, maybe we got something, but I just don't, And I like De'Aaron Fox a lot, but Sacramento just feels like it's never gonna fucking happen for anyone over there. But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel way better about where the Knicks are than I do for them.
I don't know if I can even say that though.
Oh yeah, I can. RJ Barrett, he hasn't been playing, but man, what really hurt is Cam Reddish going down because he was looking pretty good.
That's your second guy to point to is Cam Reddish.
No. Quickly, Obi, fucking Mitchell Robinson's been playing great, dude.
Recently, he has kind of turned it around, but I just don't see him re-signing with us because of his contract situation that we've covered.
Okay, but all I'm saying is we have a lot of good young players that I don't think they have.
I think they have much more talent on the roster, much more tradable talent on the roster. I mean, Sabonis is kind of like younger, slightly better Julius, if we're being honest.
He's not better than Randall. It's not true.
They're younger, similar player. He's a younger, similar player. They're very similar.
What is he younger by a year?
I don't know. Juju, how old is Juju, bro?
27.
Let's see what Sabonis is up to. Maybe he's not that young.
He's 25. All right, but is he better? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's better than Julius.
I think he is.
Well, you're fucking wrong, bro. Julius is 20, 10, and 5, motherfucker.
Sabonis has very similar numbers to Julius, bro. They're similar players, is what I'm saying. That hub point power forward type motherfucker.
He's 18.9, 12, and 5. All right, fine.
Anyway, and I think De'Aaron Fox, if he plays his value, I'm saying if they sold off their pieces, they could get more for them, including Harrison Barnes, who I think could,
RJ Barrett is a more effective player than De'Aaron Fox is. I know that's hard for you to hear, but it's the truth.
Come on, man. Let it sink RJ's fucking put together. Like, I love RJ, but
look at his numbers the last 2 months.
He puts a fucking 4-week stretch together. You talk about him like he's gonna. You're the
Why
fucking asshole who thinks he's gonna be better than John Morant.
Why don't you pull up his stats right now?
John Morant.
I didn't say he's going to be.
RJ Barrett has no credibility.
Don't make me get my energy up when I have COVID, dog.
Okay.
Don't make me talk over you like this is first take, but I'll fucking do it. Let me tell you something, dude. I didn't say he's going to be better. I said he's got. In all likelihood, we think about bodies breaking down.
Wow, bodies breaking down.
RJ is built. RJ's built.
York on fucking on. How dare you?
I did nothing of that. I did nothing. I did nothing of that sort.
Hold on, let me do what my grandma did when someone put the evil eye on me.
Don't do that shit when I'm sick. I'm trying to get better.
That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to save you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. RJ's built for 15 years, brother. He is in good shape. His numbers have been outrageous.
He's in good shape. He's a fucking NBA basketball player.
He's in good shape to have a long run, motherfucker. Let me finish. By the way, Quentin Grimes, another nice young player.
I love the guy. I love Grimes. I love the young.
Well, it doesn't seem like you love them.
I think Sims is interesting. I think we got a lot. He's finally. Tibbs is playing him a little bit, although still, look, he's gonna fucking play. He's gonna play his old guys too much. As much as I love.
Don't disrespect Taj.
I love Taj.
Don't disrespect Taj.
We're at the point in this fucking season.
He's a consummate professional.
He's a consummate pro, but we're at the point of the fucking season where the young guys need to be getting those minutes.
No, I hear that. I agree with that.
Anyway,
we got to shout out Pop for 1336.
Yep. Pop, winningest regular season coach, I believe, right?
Past Don Nelson.
Yes, but he still has. That's not the overall record, right? He still, like, with playoffs, doesn't he still have to pass somebody else? Or am I wrong?
I'm not sure. I do know that
because LeBron just passed Kareem in all-time points. But with playoffs, but that's not the one we count as like the record because, playoffs is kind of like some people don't play as long as the playoffs. Plus we've added rounds. So as great as an accomplishment as it was, that's not the one that we talk about, the Karl Malone, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar one. So I'm not sure. I saw that they did that. But yeah, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe he just did the damn thing.
It seems like he did the damn thing. I can't tell. I mean, he's also been in the playoffs so much over the years that I can't imagine him not having
Exactly. Yeah, you're probably right.
overall.
I don't know, man. I've just been look. Last leg of this tour, I'm in Chicago. I've been getting fucked up eating good food. I'm not paying attention to
What are
too
you
much
eating?
shit right now. Dude, I gotta shout him out. This guy fucking rules. Professor Pizza. This fucking guy came through. He's a huge comedy fan, by the way. He told me he last time Gaffigan was in town, and he like made him like custom hot pockets because he was like a fucking like custom pizza hot pockets. He asked. So the video guy that you recommended, our boy James, who's great, by the way. He was fucking
Yeah, I
awesome
love
to work
James.
with. He's friends with this guy, and so I guess through like doing video, he's like, "Hey, I have a friend that makes the best pizza you've ever had." And what comedian is going to say, "No, don't bring me the best pizza I've ever had," right? So I met this guy. He's fucking awesome. He made me a specific. I look. I'm a pineapple guy on pizza, and I know it's a divisive topic on the internet. I think that's overblown. I think it's good.
Not just pineapple. You do it with meat, right?
I do. Here's my dream. Here's the thing that I love putting together: pineapple, bacon, jalapeno, and then
That's a great combo.
You get the spicy, you get the sweet, you get the fucking fatty, salty. Anyone who's against that
And the
pizza
crunch.
and the crunch, anyone who's against that pizza can suck my fucking dick and balls. I said it here on Pod Don't Lie.
All right.
Fuck you, okay?
I don't think no one's gonna take you up on that offer. I think people.
Well, if you disagree with my pizza and you want to suck my dick, the offer's out there.
Right.
But it's not going to be a loving dick suck. It's going to be one where I'm like this the whole time.
Oh. I think it sounds like a good pizza, man.
Anyway, he made me one of those. He made me a fucking. My other go-to is pepperoni mushrooms. Love that.
Yeah.
Combo. Dude, this fucking guy came through with a grandma and a Sicilian slice. Like, no, I'm not even just sucking him off. Better than I've had in New York. And I don't go out there. To be fair, it's not like I'm not one of these pizza tourism guys. I just get a slice where I can get it. But This was, when I dream of a Sicilian pizza, a Sicilian slice, that nice thick fucking crust, that's what I have in my head. It's beautiful. It was so fucking good. And so I just wanted to shout him out. And if you're ever in Chicago, you need to get this fucking guy. You need to get this man to make you a pizza. He would love to. He's a huge comedy fan. So if you're in the Chicago area, go to Professor Pizza. He started it literally out of his fucking basement, and now he's got like a carry out delivery business, and he's trying to get a brick and mortar soon. So support the boy. So I've been eating that. Chicago has good Middle Eastern food too. They got really good. Yeah, they have. They got like good, shawarma, all that kind of stuff. I've had a lot of that stuff.
It's just a great city.
Great
it's
city.
tonight your last night?
No, I'm here fucking. I added Monday shows too. We sold all the shows out. I'm doing 8 shows here in Chicago. So
I love it. Where are you playing?
The Lincoln Lodge. You ever heard of it? Good
No.
spot. Nice spot.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's a smaller venue, but I wanted to fucking, I'm working on the new hour, so
Reps, man.
reps, dude. So I did 8 shows, and again, I also like them. They're like an independent comedy venue. You want to support people, trying to do it themselves. So really good shows. And by the end of this weekend, I'm trying to get a very rough version of 45 minutes with nothing off my special. So,
It's the goal, man.
a lot of work, a lot of eating like shit, a lot of staying up late, trying to get my little dick sucked, and then drinking late night coffees, and then having Xanax at 3 a.m. to go to bed. So it's the last
Take
leg
care
of
of
it.
yourself too. Take care of yourself.
Well, listen, it's the last leg of the tour. After this, I
Sure.
have 2 weeks off. I'm gonna be fucking eating salads, fucking jogging, and all this shit. But I tried to go on a fucking little walk out here, and it just was
Yeah.
so fucking cold. Chicago. That's the one issue with Chicago. As much as I love this fucking town, the fucking cold is so brutal that it's like
It's insane because
Yeah.
it's like it's a walking city too. That's the other thing. It's like you're in Minneapolis, you're driving everywhere. Sure, you got to shovel snow, but you're getting in that car.
Right.
You're in Chicago, you want to walk a few blocks, and you're like, this is like a practical joke.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like someone's fucking with me. It's
Yeah,
that cold.
dude, I know.
I thought I was gonna die there once because I remember playing Zany's Rosemont and it's one of those strip mall clubs that's hard to find. And I swear to God, it was below zero. It's so cold that I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, it's not showing up. I don't know where the hell it is. It's so cold, my phone fucking dies.
Oh
all right?
my God.
So I'm like, I guess I'm fucking just gonna have to take. I'm like dying. I'm like, dude, this is hell. They finally found me. I'm in such a bad fucking mood.
Yeah, of course. They have to thaw you out.
Ugh,
Brutal.
awful.
Dude. They have to pour hot chocolate down your mouth, get you to fucking perform. But anyway, so we'll see. There's also a very good sushi restaurant. You wouldn't think there's a good sushi restaurant in Chicago because it's the fucking middle of the
Chicago,
country.
dude.
But yeah, but you know, I was just in the Northwest. That's where you think of sushi. But
Yeah, but Chicago's top restaurants.
they fly this shit out there. I don't remember what it's called, but I went to eat there last time with my buddy, and I was like, "Come on, dude, you're taking me to fucking sushi. We're in Chicago. Shouldn't we be eating like steaks or something?" I bit my fucking tongue. I ate there. It was fucking incredible. And so I'll probably have a little fucking lunch over there either today or tomorrow. So
Chicago's probably a top 5 American city.
oh my God, without question.
It's a great city.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, that's the thing. It's like without the weather, it's up there, you know, but the
weather makes the people cooler because, you know, you have to develop a decent personality to live in a place like that.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice because it's like New York, but everyone's a little fatter, which as a fat man, I enjoy because you need a little fucking extra blubber to make it through these winters. You know
No question. But I do think like the adversity of those cold winters makes you a cooler person. Like if you're just on the beach all the time in California, anything goes wrong, you're like, oh. But you live in Chicago, you're used to fucking -0. I feel like the women complain less, the guys complain less. Yep. They're better off. The relationships are healthier.
That's good. That's true. I mean, in terms of like places I like to just, you know, strike up a random conversation. Chicago's up there, you know. Because, you know, on the road, you kind of get tired. You don't want to do that too much. But I find myself just, you know, little at the diner, talking to the person next to you, having a nice little chat.
It's a classic.
Great place. But
great city.
And speaking of, they got their boy fucking Alex Caruso back. So that is good for the Bulls. You know, they've cooled off, obviously, a little bit here from the beginning of the year, having, you know, they were the number 1 seed forever. They've dropped to 4. Now we've got you know, the Heat at number 1. Bucks, my boys, the Bucks. Despite that loss to the Warriors last night, which did break my heart. I was thinking, man,
Clay was on a mission, brother. He was awesome. Jordan Poole too when they get Draymond back, they're going to be a problem because they're shooting. I think Jordan Poole is first in the NBA in free throw percentage. He's just a great shooter. And then you add that to the mix of these guys. Like Wiggins has fallen off a little bit recently.
Yeah, him being an all-star starter is going to look so fucking hilarious in history. You know what I mean? It's going to look like when those Pacers, remember that Pacers team that fell apart in the second half and like I think all of them made the fucking all-star. It was like, you know, fucking what's his face? What was the tall motherfucker?
Jermaine O'Neal
got cucked. No.
Oh, Roy Hibbert.
Yeah. Roy Hibbert was like, you know, he was fucking playing the All-Star game, and then next year he was out of the league type of shit. It was fucking crazy.
He was on the Lakers, I think.
I know, I remember, but it was one of those desperation. Once the Lakers got you, it's not going to work out. If you need a nice, quiet place to get your mental health in order and regain your status as a player, the Lakers are not where you need to be going. Not because that was the Lakers when it was, you know, Kobe was at the end grasping for straws. Lakers. That's not a good Lakers team.
I thought Brook Lopez might have been finished when he went to the Lakers, and he finally found a good home in Milwaukee. But
that's another example, dude. The Lakers really are one of the worst organizations.
But that's where he learned to shoot threes. Is L.A. He didn't really shoot threes before that.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Though, think about all the because usually when we shit on the Lakers' bad personnel moves, we only go as far back as Zubac, which was that's one of the fucking stupidest moves of all time, trading Zubac for Mike Muscala because they had to make a stretch run with LeBron. It was LeBron's first season. Completely fucking ridiculous, stupid move. But
Zubac has been great this year.
I know. How much could the Lakers use Zubac right now? But then you push it further. Lopez was on that team before LeBron came. how good can you think of a better center to pair with LeBron than fucking Brook Lopez after he learned to shoot threes, protect the rim? And I mean, thank God, from my perspective, thank God they made that fucking move, because that took Giannis to another level. And Brook Lopez, he's even a more better fit with Giannis than he is LeBron, because they just were like, when they finally
they miss him badly on defense.
Absolutely. And when they finally figured out that defense where it was like Brook Lopez is the center, Giannis is like the fucking free safety, they were fucking incredible.
Warriors-Bucks would be a really fun finals, because I'm watching Middleton versus Clay, and I'm like, that's a fun matchup.
That's a fun one.
That's a really fun match. Clay was I was watching, enjoying the hell out of that, because it's like, it felt good to see him. They're even talking early in the game, last few games are like, Clay hasn't really had it lately. And to see him go off like that, you could just see the joy in his eyes. Yeah. It was pretty badass. It
was awesome. And I mean, I did not enjoy it because it was against the Bucks, obviously. But there is just something to look, let's get as many juggernaut fucking teams in the NBA. Let's get these playoffs are going to be so fucking awesome. I mean, truly fucking awesome.
And they're going to be awesome. I do think the Sixers are going to continue to sit Harden and Embiid to try to run from that Nets matchup in the first round.
Oh, wow. You think so?
Absolutely.
Well, do we even know?
You could play them together, or you could be like, we don't want the fucking... Do you think they want the fucking Nets in round one?
So you think they're going to just shoot for the 3 seed so that they miss whichever play-in team? Because I don't think... Brooklyn could be the 8th, they could be the 7th. I don't
think Philly wants any part of that shit. Do you?
Yeah. No, after they got their fucking ass cheeks demolished.
There's a mental edge too that I do think Durant is just so confident under pressure. So is Kyrie. I wonder. We don't know if Kyrie will be able to play by then at home games, but.
Yeah, but dude, Kyrie and you, we haven't podcasted together in a week because I had.
They're currently the 3 seed, but I mean, would you be shocked? I could see the Bulls overtaking them because they're tied right now, basically.
Yeah, and okay, on some level, I think it was kind of good that the Sixers faced this now, because I think what would have been the worst possible thing for a team like this, and I actually said this on our Patreon that we did with Ben Dietrich, who came in and subbed in for you, was that I think if the Sixers were to continue to cruise, they're the kind of team that if they don't face adversity before the playoffs, when they hit adversity, they'll crumble, right? Because, that's been Harden's thing. Like, he cruises through the playoffs, cruises through the first round, and then when it actually fucking gets to nut crunching time, his nuts get crunched. His nuts get fucking mortar and pestled into a fine powder.
There's not a lot of easy matchups either, though. I'm looking at this like, okay, today, say the Sixers in the playoffs, they're playing the Cavs, who are not an easy matchup.
Cavs isn't. Listen,
they'll beat the Cavs, but it's not an easy matchup.
I'd rather have the Cavs than the fucking Bulls or Celtics. As much as I fucking hate the Celtics, they're putting it together.
Celtics look good. Raptors right now it's Bucks Raptors. I mean, Raptors are good.
We'll beat the Raptors, but dude, the Raptors are fucking annoying.
They're annoying. They're scrappy as hell. Yeah, but I would rather. Okay, but no disrespect to the Raptors and the Cavs. They're the 2 teams you want to play out of this top 8 right now.
Yeah, but that also goes to show you there's no running. Like, there's no running from anything, because okay, maybe you get the one of the 2 easy matchups, but they're not. There's no like I remember one year. There's no the Blake Griffin Detroit Pistons, right? I remember the Bucks played them, and it's like, who cares? This is a walk. That doesn't exist this year.
No. What do you think about Celtics Bulls round 1? That could be that's awesome. A good match. It could also end up being Sixers Celtics, which would be
that's also awesome. But I will say, I think, well, yeah, that's a really good series. Honestly, of all the teams, I just think the Celtics matchup just think the Bucks match up better with the Celtics. I'm not as scared of the Celtics as I am, like, obviously Brooklyn, obviously Miami, but it's just like it all comes down. It will come down to matchups a little bit here, and I mean it always does. It's not like I'm saying anything fucking revolutionary, but at the same time, it's just like there's so much talent that I don't think even if you make it out of the first round with a favorable matchup, it's like you're playing. If you're the fucking Sixers, you're playing the fucking whoever comes out of the if you're the 3 seed and you beat the Cavs, you're probably playing the Celtics or the Bulls. I think as much as great as the Bull story has been in the playoffs, I think you want them even over maybe the Celtics. Maybe the Celtics. Well,
I don't know about
again,
that.
it depends on your matchup, right?
Celtics are red hot right now.
Well, let me say this though: if you're Joel Embiid, look, I know
Tatum's
Robert Williams.
red hot.
I know Robert Williams is much better this season, but it's like I still think he's not a problem for Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, I still think the Celtics, for as good as their team defense is, and it has been really good because, they don't really have – in the past they had great defenders, but then you would have to put a Gordon Hayward on the floor. You would have to put a Kemba Walker on the floor. Now it's like there's no real weak link on that defense, right? Where it's like wait, are
you calling Gordon Hayward a weak defender?
He's not a good defender.
He's a good defender.
He's fine, but it's like
Hayward is he's a two-way player. That's his whole thing.
Fuck Gordon Hayward. He can suck my fucking dick.
That's not basketball analysis stuff, bro.
It is. He's not that good a fucking defender. He's really not, dude. He's fine, especially towards the end
on Boston.
After all his injuries and shit is all I'm saying.
All right.
And then you have Kemba. You have they'd always have a couple. IT even before that, even when they were a really strong defensive team, they would have a fucking weak link. And now it's especially when you got fucking Derek White in there, you know what I mean? He's a fucking good defender. Marcus Smart, both Tatum and Brown, and then Robert Williams. It's that's tough, dude.
It's crazy that it's pretty much set too. I mean, Hawks Hornets round 1. I mean, it's all kind of fun.
It's not set though because
but it's all kind of fun, is what I'm saying. Even the Hawks Hornets is kind of a fun game.
Yeah, I mean Hawks. Remember, I mean, the baby nutted villain. One of his biggest things, pouring salt on our wounds was not only fucking our asses and taking these little bitch ass bows, but making us believe he was going to be good and making us look like idiots on our prediction pod this fucking preseason.
How about this? Is there a world with so the Nets right now, it's Nets Raptors 8-7 seed, so they're going to have a matchup.
They played in Toronto, no Kyrie.
Right. I mean, I still think they win.
That would be so fucking funny. Dude, if the Nets,
and also they might catch up to the Raptors. You never know.
I think they probably will. I mean, KD has looked incredible, and I mean, even before that, when KD was out, you had Kyrie had that. We haven't podcast, like I was saying, we haven't podcast together in a week. So many incredible games have happened. So many players have had virtuosic performances. Kyrie had that. He had 50 points. He shot 70. He shot over 75%.
Smallest amount of shots ever taken to hit 50.
The most efficient game in history. Then you have KD just now hanging 50, whatever the fuck it was on us, scoring almost half his team's points. I mean,
I have to say, if they lift this ban and Kyrie plays, then to me the Nets are the team to beat, unfortunately.
And then you have and then look, whatever you want to say about
at least
Ben
in the
Simmons,
East.
And then Ben Simmons is in a perfect situation where it's like, bro, this team is so good. Just rebound and fucking play defense. You don't have to worry about shit. Get on the break. Have some alley-oops. You're gonna be.
Is there a world where he just doesn't play this year?
I don't think so. I think that would be crazy.
They keep making excuses. I don't know.
Didn't they say he's gonna play next week or something like that? I
think it feels like it keeps being pushed back though.
I don't know. He was and how good did you have to feel if you're Ben Simmons, where it's like you're at Philly, you're ready to get booed. Dude, you see that some guy was selling? I saw the funniest T-shirt I've ever seen. There was a clip of a guy selling, bootleg T-shirts that they sell outside of sporting arenas. This guy had a fucking T-shirt that said, It had a picture of Ben Simmons' head and then a crude drawing of a balls on the beginning of a shaft of a penis, and it said Ben Simmons certified dickhead.
Wow. Wow.
Some guy in Philly dressed up as a baby, a grown man, had a pacifier. He had that little fucking bonnet you put on babies in old cartoons, and to make fun of Ben Simmons. Philly's in there trying to shit on Ben Simmons, and then their team gets their asses.
Well, those seats, do you know how much those seats were costing by the Nets bench? They were going for $3 or $4 grand, which
incredible.
For a Philly game is unheard of.
That's so funny.
Just for that's how hateful Philly fans are. They are looking to like bankrupt their family, to just scream at a fucking stranger, "You suck."
That's some fucking kid. If we strip it, it's like a kid in his early 20s. Like I would feel stupid having a beef with a 24-year-old. I'm 33. You know what I mean? It's like those guys are probably older. They're just like, fuck Ben, you fucking piece of shit, Ben Simmons. It's crazy, dude. It really is fucking insane.
And there was a great clip. Josiah on Twitter is just like, I don't know how he does it. Some of his clips are they're so quick and hilarious. But he had one. You ever see the movie Money Talks with Chris Tucker? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Classic movie, but it's the scene where Chris Tucker gets saved by those terrorists by accident, and they keep hugging, and he tries to keep getting in on the hug, and they were like, "This Kyrie and KD," and he's Ben Simmons trying to get it.
Yeah.
Such a perfect description of
that is so true. Yeah, I mean,
Kyrie and KD just put on a show,
and it's like, you know, last week it was the Sixers suck off party, which it should have been. They looked awesome, and I still sort of believe. I mean, I'm not quitting on them, but it's like, this is something that you have to keep in mind, like.
Well, shooting has always been a thing with Harden. Like it's similar to LeBron. You need to surround him with shooters, and I really believe losing Seth Curry might have fucked them in that trade. I know you got to go for Harden, especially with him not playing, Simmons not playing. But imagine the Sixers team with Seth Curry. I think they look like a different team.
And I also think the problem with the Sixers is they're kind of built to play kind of ugly playoff basketball. They're built to fucking grind it out, shoot free throw after free throw. I mean, both Embiid and Harden get to the line.
Yeah.
Embiid is a very good defender, obviously. They have Thibault, who's a good defender, not a great fucking shooter. And
Maxey shot like shit too. He's kind of unproven in the playoffs.
Well,
young
exactly.
guy.
And Maxey's going to be up and down, of course, but when you have a bad shooting performance from Harden, you have a bad shooting performance from Maxey, and then you have the one person who obviously suffers here in basketball-wise is Tobias, which is fine. I mean, again, you have to get Harden, but is Tobias going to turn into a glorified corner shooter? I don't know, because he needs the ball in his fucking hands to really be effective.
Is he a sixth man? I don't trust Nang and Korkmaz the way I trust the Brooklyn bench and their shooting. Like Patty Mills to me is such a better shooter.
Patty Mills, sure, but I think Niang is a really good fit with that starting.
Niang is very good, but it's just in the playoffs. I'm talking about guys who have been there before, guys who have won.
Sure, Patty Mills is Spurs pedigree, of course.
Australian, Olympic bad boy, Spurs champion.
Yeah,
even Goran Dragic. I mean, these guys are good. They've all been there before.
Yeah, them getting Dragic really fucking annoyed me.
Because you wanted him.
I wanted him. And it's like, why I mean, I guess he's literally, like, him and Steve Nash are friends. It'd be like if, like, if there was some coaching equivalent and you retired from comedy and you were and it's like, and there was some kind of comedy coaching. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go where or you started running a club. And it wasn't as good a club, but I was like, it's Sam's. I got to go.
It's a good club, though. I mean, they got KD.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think? It's not a good club.
I guess not. Okay, how about this? I had to go, I had to feature instead of headline because Dragic would have had a lot more opportunity in
probably
with the Bucks. I mean, you see it where you have fucking.
But he's not starting on the Bucks.
He's not starting, but they got that fucking. They got Carter plays a ton of fucking minutes for them.
Carter's been pretty good though.
And what also broke my heart is I know DeAndre Brembry's like fucking bounced around from team to team, and he was actually on the Nets, but I thought he's out for the season. I thought he was going to be pretty useful for spot minutes here and there for the Bucks, just because he's the right kind of body and the right kind of like energy type of guy to come in. No offense to Thanasi, I love him, but I'd rather have DeAndre Brembry have those minutes than in the playoffs.
What about Ibaka though? I think that's a pretty good move for you guys.
Yeah, and he's looked good recently. He looked really good. He looked really good against the Suns, which is important.
His three ball is looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, and he was okay. He looked okay against the. He looked pretty good against the Warriors. He scored a little bit
as a backup when if Brook comes back.
If Brook comes back, then it's a great thing. But I'm a little skeptical here. But whatever. I still think the Bucks' greatest asset here is sort of like it's just continuity. It's like they are a team in the old fashioned sense of it, where it's like these motherfuckers have been around forever, together forever. They have a real identity. They know how the fuck to play, and they have players that have big fucking nuts in big moments, whether that's Middleton or Giannis. And then whatever Drew gives you is a big bonus, and then he can be a fucking big defensive. Now, I'm a little worried that Drew is getting older and being the A1 defensive stopper, especially with no PJ Tucker, is going to be a lot harder for him now that we have, especially against the Nets. Like, that matchup worries me defensively because we really could use PJ in that sense, and fuck the bitch-ass Bucks owners, those penny-pinching cocksuckers. They're hedge fund billionaires. They couldn't pay the luxury tax. Don't own a team, you cheap fucks, if you're not going to pay the luxury tax after you win a championship. At least run it back one time.
I will say, I agree. I will say, I would have said it differently, but I agree. No. I do think
they can suck my dick.
Start
at the bottom of my balls. Start at the gooch. Trace the seam that runs between my balls, and then go all the way up to the little vein. Circle around to my foreskin and suckle. You fucking pieces of shit. That's how I would have said it.
That's how I would have said it too. Perfect. Now, I hate to say it because I don't like him, but I do think Grayson Allen is a great fit with you guys.
I know. Listen, that's the one thing that hurts my heart is to have to root for Grayson Allen because you see his face. You see the way he plays. He's a great jump
shooter. He plays hard on D. He has good instincts. He's actually a much better NBA player than I thought he would be.
Yeah. If he could just stop being a piece of shit as a human being, but
he's so unlikable.
That's his face.
He's 39.6 from three.
No, he's if it wasn't for him going to Duke, looking the way he looked, and hurting people, he'd be one of my favorite players. Because on the court, you're absolutely correct. He gives us a lot of what we need. That's one of the very smart moves that the front office has made, and they've made some questionable ones, but that was a very good one for sure. But anyway, Bucks were looking good up until this loss to the Warriors, but then again, it's the Warriors with Clay heating up, and then you got to worry about them. You got to worry about the Warriors when fucking Draymond comes back. And as much as I'd like to sit here and gloat and say that they're not, shit's not going that good for them, they're in the third seed. They don't give a fuck, man. They have nothing to prove.
When I heard the interview with Clay, it said everything. When he goes, I'm trying to peak at the right time. I'm trying to work my way back. And you're like, this dude's a champion.
Yeah.
He knows when to peak.
And I watched not the last game they played against the Nuggets where they won, but the one where they lost. Kuminga played, they had Kuminga and Moody out there as if they were starters. They are just literally letting their young guys figure it out. They don't give a fuck. And
the young guys are good. I mean, Kuminga's a freak.
Kuminga's a freak, and he's something the Warriors have never had. The Warriors have never had a guy like that, and that's fucking annoying. And look, here's the other thing. Wiseman is just kind of somewhere. Maybe it's not even this year. Maybe they're just take your time, big fella, whatever. What if Wiseman comes back?
He was the second overall pick.
Yeah, and it's look, maybe he's not going to become fucking, what everyone was saying, he can be Rudy Gobert that can also shoot. It's like, all right, maybe he's not going to be that, but if he's an upgrade over Kevon Looney next year, and
which I believe he will be.
I mean, who knows? Kevon Looney's at least a fucking serviceable.
He's a good player.
He doesn't make mistakes, you know. But
he's he's not like, he doesn't have the potential of obviously a James Wiseman who's 7'2".
Yeah,
and
the kid's never played. Like, his Memphis season got cut short because of recruiting whatever violations. I don't exactly remember what it was. So this fucking guy, he's young as shit, and he's only played
and he's got
high school ball. So I think the Warriors are. So if they come back and Wiseman is just if he's simply a good NBA center who's athletic and can catch lobs and all this kind of shit and can figure out their offense, because he clearly was struggling with it his rookie year. But if he can just figure it out, and then you have these fucking assholes, Kuminga and Moody went off. Moody can score.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting against these young men as people. I want what's best for them as human beings. I don't want them to feel sorrow, but I am rooting against the Warriors organization, being able to thread the needle and feeling smarter than they are. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm thankful every day they didn't get LaMelo.
It'd be great if they somehow land Bronny and get LeBron at 40, and it's just LeBron, Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
That's so funny.
Would be fucking. It'd be kind of fun.
It would be really funny. That would be so funny if the Warriors were like, "All right, LeBron, we'll take you on your fucking word. We draft Bronny with our second round pick. Who cares?" And he's just like the fun. That would dude. If it's like the 40-year-old, if it's those guys with 40-year-old LeBron. That's not even a basketball team. That's like the Expendables at that point.
It'd be kind of fun.
Like Melo's out there for some reason.
Man, I was watching Melo in an interview describing how LeBron called him "we need you, and I'm just well, you should have needed some other players too, because Melo's been great, but he ain't getting it done.
It's not Melo's fault.
No, I'm saying Melo's been great. This has been Melo's oh shit, this dude is a valuable player still. He's a great spot-up shooter. Can still take you one-on-one a little bit. Not a great defender, never was, but he's a valuable player.
Yeah, and listen, if Vince Carter could play until he's 42, as long as Melo continues to fucking understand his role is going to be specialized over the years,
I think he does.
Melo could play a long time. And it's a real shame that the Lakers gutted their team and if they just literally kept everyone and then added Melo on a minimum, this team is so much better. It's hilarious.
Did you see the clip from the Miami Heat versus the Timberwolves last night where Kyle Lowry airballs a 3 and Karl Anthony Towns on the road starts to try to chant airball?
No, it was Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Who did I say?
You said Cat.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Yeah, Anthony Edwards starts
Anthony
to chant.
Edwards fucking rules. I love the Timberwolves, man.
On the road, he starts to try to chant airball.
He's the king. I love that kid, man.
Who do you think is going to have a better career? Ant or LaMelo?
I think the safe bet is LaMelo because we kind of know what LaMelo is. He's basically going to be this guy, I think. I don't think he'll ever be a transcendent scorer, but I think the safe money is LaMelo, but I think the higher ceiling is Ant, because Ant could be, if he puts his defense together and his shooting's not even that bad, but if he gets it even better than it is, Ant could be a fucking, he's got the tools to be a top 5 player, which right. I don't know that LaMelo does. I think LaMelo's a solidly a top 10 player probably in his prime. But I don't know that he's does he get into the Luka zone? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Luka's tough to reach because Luka does have that body type.
Right.
That LaMelo doesn't have. He does have the thicker body.
But LaMelo's tall, though, too. So,
I think they both have high ceilings. But I do think, what do you say? The highest that LaMelo could go is, Jason Kidd type player. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but although I guess having said that, Jason Kidd in his prime was a top 5 player. I mean, he took those sorry Nets teams to the fucking finals. trading him for Marbury just
was he top
immediately-
5? I know he was MVP, but would you consider him like a top 5 player? Because think about the
Yeah, I guess
NBA
you're
at
right.
that time.
Shaq, Kobe,
Duncan, Iverson,
Yeah.
T-Mac, Vince. I mean, he probably
No,
just
you're right.
he probably
You're
just
right.
sneaks in there.
That's a great point. Yeah, maybe he's Kid is a great example. Kid is a
MVP
great-
doesn't always mean you're a top 5 player. Like Joel Embiid is the MVP. Is he a top 5 guy I'm taking in the
think he
NBA right
is.
now?
I think he is.
You take him over like right now is what the argument, not like for
Not
the
like-
future.
Not like
You take him
so
over.
we're not taking
there's-
age into consideration, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying
Just
top 5.
this moment.
You're not taking him over Giannis.
No,
In one game, are you taking him over Kevin Durant? I'm not.
no.
Are you taking him over LeBron one game?
I guess not one game, but it's yeah. I guess not one game.
Okay, are you taking him over Jokic one game? That's a tough one.
I think they're
even.
tied. Honestly, I think.
I think offensively Jokic is superior. I think. I mean, no
JoJo's
doubt.
such a good defender, though, dude.
Yeah. No, you're right. It is probably a tie.
I think
It's
they're tied for that number 5 spot, in my opinion. I mean, I guess
missing anyone?
we haven't said Steph.
We haven't said Steph.
Yeah, that's interesting. Fuck. Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. So yeah, I guess I stand by what I said about Ant, where it's like it's more likely LaMelo will have the better career, but Ant has a path to being a top 5 player because of his skill set, his physical tools, all that kind of stuff that I don't think LaMelo does. But at the same time, if I really was a betting man, I guess longevity, all this stuff, I see LaMelo because it just IQ is ultimately is the most important thing when you have some of the tools.
We didn't mention Luka either, by the way, in that Jokic conversation.
Oh damn! Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
I take Embiid over Luka one game, whatever. Right now,
Really?
I think Luka. I mean, look, Luka's really good, but I think Embiid.
Who does Luka have?
Embiid and Jokic are fucking playing out of their minds this year.
I agree. Embiid
and I'm
is
not even
the
talking about
MVP.
next year, but.
All right, no, that's fair. Right now, it's fair. Embiid's incredible. He is.
And look, Luka. I mean,
I'm just trying to have an argument here.
It's an interesting conversation. It actually is an interesting conversation. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like you think about the years that, like, Steve Nash won MVP over Kobe. It's like, well, no one's actually wants Steve Nash over Kobe. As great as Steve Nash is. You make the same argument, like, Karl Malone winning MVP over Jordan. Come on.
That was more just people didn't want to give Jordan any... Like, he just had won it too many times. That's pure narrative.
Sure. But narrative's a big part of MVP.
True. Very true, my friend.
And right now, like, KD, injury plays a role, too. Some of the greats pace themselves in a different way that, like, younger guys kind of still want to prove themselves. And,
right. I mean, one of the greats that's not pacing himself anymore is fucking LeBron James, dude. I think LeBron... Dude, I have a theory LeBron is going to try and win the scoring title this year. Because I just checked, because he put that monster 50 points up on the fucking Wizards, and it was awesome, dude. It was fucking like, I just... It's like, I was never even the biggest LeBron fan, like, throughout his career, but the older he gets, the more I just feel like, again, I've made the argument again, it's just like LeBron winning is like, my youth still exists as long as LeBron is the best player in the league.
Dude,
like, you know what I mean?
He's averaging 29.7 a game this year.
Him, Embiid, and Giannis are tied for the scoring title right now. They're both averaging. They're all averaging 28, I think.
He hasn't averaged this many points since 2009 Cleveland Cavs.
Yeah, let's look at the fucking scoring title leaders right now.
In 2007, he averaged 30 a game. Damn, in 2005, LeBron averaged 31.4 a game.
Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, dude, I'm sorry, not 28. They're all averaging 29.7. LeBron, Giannis, and Joel. And DeRozan is at 28.
Good chance LeBron takes over because Giannis has help. DeMar has help. LeBron's got no help.
Yeah, and Joel has fucking Harden now. So if you're LeBron and the Lakers just completely shit the bed, and you're trying to make this narrative argument that I am not the problem, this fucking organization is the problem, wouldn't you want to win the scoring title at 37? To fucking put your nuts on the table in a really major way? I'm rooting for him to do it, man. That would be so fucking awesome. I hope he does it. We'll see. I'll be pissed. Honestly, I'd love Giannis to get it, but LeBron, it would be so cool for him to get it. Because although, damn, Giannis has never had one. But who knows? If LeBron keeps putting up these 50-pointers, man. And the other thing is, I don't know if you saw this on his. He did a clip on his show. What's it called? Show dude, I always see the clips. I should watch the whole show. It looks really fascinating. Or just him and a bunch of like cool fucking people at the barbershop.
Right.
The clip they chose to break out and go viral and like really push was the clip about him complaining that he's never thought about as one of the greatest scorers of all time. That everybody talks about him as like, oh, he's a facilitator, he's the best overall player. But he's like, why the fuck don't they talk about me like I'm one of the best scorers? And you would know it'd be a really nice feather in his fucking cap would be like, hey, I randomly ended up on the worst team of my career in my 37th year, and I am going to prove I'm a fucking scorer by winning the scoring title here. And I just hope he stays healthy because I would love to see him fucking do it. I think that would be
It's weird.
Cool.
I mean, there's a talk that, like, you know, and I think it was a 2014 All-Star game, LeBron and KD played one-on-one, and they say, you know, LeBron just torched him because he's just too strong. And, you know, I wonder, it is different playing one-on-one without refs because I'm like, I wonder how much he bodied him.
Yeah.
Because KD... Although, man, I got to say, KD going to the rack, it is interesting. He is pretty fearless for a guy with his frame. He just fucking throws it down.
Of course, dude. Yeah.
But I mean, is LeBron the best scorer ever? Probably.
Yeah, and it's like he could make the argument. It's like if he wanted to be that kind of player, but he's just like, you know, it's just he just.
Well, people
he's also good at propaganda.
Who's better? Who's better? I mean, like people will talk. Sure, that's I think the only guy that you can even put in that conversation. I mean, because the name like James Harden, because he averaged like 35 a game one year, right? But no one's taken Harden over LeBron. It's not Harden's amazing, but
yeah. And even though I understand the argument that Daryl Morey was making there, it's like, you know, something still has to happen about like. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the bad taste of Harden, like just kind of no showing in a really high pressure game is still. And it was at home, and the whole crowd's behind him. All he needed to do was show up.
All we need is, I mean, that wasn't even a playoff game, Stav. Like I feel like all we need is for him to show us once when the lights are brightest, and I don't think he does it. And I think the refs calling less of those fouls.
Which they will.
It's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
Because we know when Harden is at his most effective, and it's like, hey, man, I'll say this even as a Knicks fan. When Randall goes off, great, but it is against the Kings.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a bad defensive team.
Right.
And you have to think about that.
And Harden's best playoff moments come when it's like, oh, Utah is playing. Remember when Utah was playing that weird gimmick offense where they played him from behind? Do you remember that? And it's like, okay, I'll go off for 40 every game if you do this to me. Like, or he's just never had like a decisive. And I was waiting for him, man. I remember those games because I'm a Harden fan, and I was like, he's gonna prove it's all. Because as NBA fans, we also forget the great ones have bad playoff games.
Of course, but I feel like it has always been
obviously. D-Wade,
it's always
Kobe.
been when the lights are but D-Wade is also insanely clutch in the playoffs.
But what I was just going to say was all the guys that we think about as the clutchest guys ever, they've had stinkers. And so
Bird, of course, everyone's done it.
Early in Harden's career, I was like, look, the guy's going to I'm thinking like I'm an enlightened basketball fan and everybody shitting on Harden has, you know, blinders on, but then he just kept doing stinkers,
right?
And I was like, "Fuck, what? Hey, James, when's the big game coming, buddy?" You're kind of.
Well, I remember against San Antonio, which is like that's a tough team, obviously, but I think the Rockets were favored to win, but the Spurs had that. They're an intimidating team to run into in the playoffs because of all that veteran savvy. All these, I mean, I remember Ginobili had that game-winning block on him from behind, and you're like, man.
And that's not that's bald spot Manu. that wasn't fucking in its prime, straight from Argentina, hair flopping in the wind, man. Dude, that motherfucker was already shopping for strollers for his fucking second kid by that point.
It was games like that where you're like, shit. And look, you can argue Dwight Howard wasn't the right piece. We can make that argument. Of course, that's the truth.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. That Houston team is the ultimate what could have been. But that team that year they came the closest when they lost to the Warriors. The Warriors lost to the Cavs, and I'm like, are the Rockets beating the Cavs?
Yeah, that would have. Wait, was that the year?
Maybe they won, but they faced the Cavs.
Yeah.
Either way,
they beat the Cavs. They beat the Cavs that year, I believe. I just wanted to see them beat the Warriors, man. You know what I mean? Like for me, I was just like, I don't even care.
That would have been enough to silence a lot of this shit.
100%. Because that was the Durant Warriors, dude. That was, I believe.
I don't think anyone's calling Chris Paul a choke, and he's never, I mean, I think it's just.
And the thing is, no one's called, but then it's like, well, what if Harden had gotten injured and Chris Paul almost beats them? They're probably still calling him a choke. I mean, that hamstring and that weird shooting game, man. I mean, that's one of the weirdest games of all time. Everyone couldn't hit a fucking three. It's almost like they were making up for that weird comeback the franchise made over the Rockets that night. They were paying for it karmically, where it's like, oh, Josh Howard fucking hit all those threes. Like now you get to fucking lose to the Warriors because they were the best 3-point shooting team of all time.
Not Josh Howard. What was his name? Josh Smith.
Josh Smith. Sorry.
Josh Howard. Another.
I got my Joshes from the 2000s mixed up. Is Josh Howard the guy who went and played in Greece?
He played for Dallas
with the fro.
No, that's Josh Childress.
Yeah, I'm getting all my Joshes.
Josh Howard was an all-star for the Dallas Mavs, who retired weirdly young.
Yes, you're right. Damn, dude, my brain is fucking fried.
Oh, you're back at you.
Well, look, I think that
Josh Howard had a few years.
No, Josh Howard was good. Josh Howard was good. Yeah, Josh Childress was the guy who played for Olympiacos. I should know. He played for my team in Greece, which Pat Bev also played for, by the way. And that other guy, who was the guy who played for like 1 second, who was doing behind the back passes? That European that looked like he smoked cigarettes.
Oh, Theodosic?
Theodosic, yeah. Theodosic and Pat
awesome.
Beverly both played for Olympiacos at the same time.
I don't think we ever shouted out Pat Bev for getting that fucking extension, man.
Yeah, good for Pat Bev. And just that Timberwolves team is fun, man. I'm really they're a cute squad. But anyway, folks, listen, Sammy's got COVID. I'm fucking hungover. We're both going to go lay in bed for a couple hours. But we had to rally. I had to get room service breakfast. I couldn't even leave my room. I was like, just bring up some eggs. I need podcast fuel. So that's going to do it for us, I think, Sam, unless you have anything else you wanted to bring up, my friend.
I'm good, brother. Hopefully I'm good for Columbus this weekend.
Salt
Lake City coming up. Rochester, New York before that. I'm mixing them all up. Brea, California.
I am hopping off the fucking touring bandwagon a little bit. I'm slowing it down, but I will be in Atlanta. Come tell me why I'm wrong about Trae Young being a little piece of shit live in person April 1st.
I was getting heckled by those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Earl in Atlanta April 1st and 2nd. 4 shows. Let's sell those fuckers out, and then after that it's Toronto in the T-Dot April 16th. Please, I bet that I could sell a lot of tickets in the theater, and if I don't do it, I'm going to look like a real asshole in Toronto. So please buy your tickets, and Providence after that, and then after that I'm making up, I believe, the San Diego date, and then I'm at the DC Improv. So stavi.biz, a lot of fucking nice little dates coming your way, and yeah, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
They talk about